teams maybe had trouble getting going. I don't think either team been on the ice for 2 days. Is that maybe what we were seeing there, where both teams?
Well, you know, it fit. Unfortunately, it fit with what I'd said before. You have a day when you have a day off. Usually, it takes before the third or fourth drill in the next practice before they actually get going. And tonight for us, it was the second period. So Upi was real good. I said to the team that if we had one guy going, we had the right guy going, and that was Upi. And till the others got their legs under him.
How key was that first shift of the second period from the Thompson line? It seemed to carry through almost the whole period.
It did. They set the tone. You know, even after the first, you go in the locker room, you can say what you want, but at some point, you just know that they know, and you know they're going to pick it up. You just know it. And we flipped to start them that period, and I thought they provided real good leadership in setting a tone for us.
As a coach, Don, what's it like just seeing you give Ugo another start here? It's 3 in a row for him to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, well, it's great to see him take advantage of it, obviously, because that means success in the form of a win. But I didn't give him it. He's earned it. You know, it's clear. The decision is easy. That we would go with him today and the other day. I think, you know, a big part today, you know, our team hasn't skated, so Devin hasn't skated, so it's not even fair to put Devin in today. But Upi's been, you know, the real reason Upi was in because he's played well and he's in a rhythm and, you know, that's he's been good and he continues to get better.
You ended up getting 3 points out of Middlestat. What went into the Benson Middlestat play?
You know, I just felt we needed to shift things around, and even I put Poso with Middlestead and Zemgus later with Cousins. We just needed work on each line. I felt, you know, I didn't want us to play, you know, too cute, too fancy. Just a little more directness out of each line, and shifted some players around that would do that. I also felt, you know, Greener wasn't doing great in the draw face-off, and it was an easy switch for me. You know, put Benson, who's had success with Thompson and Tuck in the glass. They played in Vegas, and they had a real good game. So I knew that combination would be fine. And Benny's a very, very responsible player. Very smart. He's one of our most responsible guys, and kind of stabilized, gave them consistency. You know, sometimes you have, you know, all your skill, or not all your skill, but, you know, Middlestead skill, Thompson and Tuck, and they get a little bit too fancy, a little less direct. And Benny's always in front of the net, always on a puck. And, you know, so I knew the guys would respond to that, and Middlestead back to the middle was easy.
He said it meant a lot to him to get the consecutive starts. He said something he's been working towards, to be able to get that confidence from you and Mike Bales. And is that something that you knew that he wanted and knew he was working towards?
I could only assume that, and I would assume that based on, you know, his character and what his work ethic and his commitment, that yes, he would want that. But again, he's earned it. I'm not giving him that. You know, earlier in the season, obviously he wasn't in a rhythm, and now he's just shown he's better and more consistent. And you guys, everybody that watches us knows he just looks big in the net. He just doesn't look like there's any net or much net when you're shooting. He's confident. He's out. He reads situations better. He's in front of situations better. And that's a process, especially, you know, I guess you have to understand, and you think about it, how much the goaltender has to work with the defenseman and reading, understanding what they're going to take and what you need to take, and building trust and confidence to just, you know, maybe leave your net a little bit and leave some, you know, backside. Unfortunately, we got scored. The only goal he gave up the other night was a backside goal that we should have had that covered by a defenseman. That's unfortunate. But no, he's been good, and it's a combination of him and learning what's around him as well too.
We talked about Henry before the game. Just what did you think of him? And you referenced his offense before the game, and I think he hit a game-high shots, which, you know, you might not expect. But what do you think of it?
You know, he just seems to wear down sometimes. You know, physically, even mentally sometimes. And so the break, you know, him to step back and reset, I knew he'd come out with energy and focus and, you know, a little more determination. And I thought all that was, you know, he did the right things with the puck. He closed on guys quick, and he was a positive factor for us today.
What do you want Dylan to take away from a game like that?
Cousins? We got 2 points, so I don't know what you're referring to.
Shots on, I mean, we
Yeah.
got 11 minutes, you changed
Yeah.
the lines because you didn't like the way that they were working.
Well,
Generally.
I didn't have any problem with Dylan, and when we switched to lines, it was nothing to do with one guy. It was to do with the entire group of 12 forwards. But Dylan was still key on the penalty kill for us today. Still very key, and you know, there's maybe more to it, which I'll discuss later. In far of some soreness, some issues there. So no punishment, I can tell you that.
You had a goal from talk on the power play. Power play seems to be kind of finding their way a little bit here.
Yeah.
What are you liking about it?
Yeah, I don't want to jump too far ahead on the power play, but they're looking a little different in a direction that we want to go. And so tonight they still look anxious, they still look a little bit uneasy, but they executed things that we're working on more. Thompson walked in one heck of a save on the second power play we had, but they're a little bit more, poise is what we're seeing there. Big process to get out of our head, and I think, again, saw some anxiety that I think, with film, these guys will resolve that even further. But it was nice to score that goal, and it was nice the way they scored it, because it's stuff we've talked about and turned toward working on.
You mentioned Benson stabilizing that top line was, I think, the word you used. Like, what's it say about an 18-year-old here? He is halfway through his rookie season, and he's stabilizing a top line with 2 pretty talented guys.
Yeah, add in the fact that he's young too. You're not talking about a 24-year-old rookie, a guy that's played college or come over from Europe. I mean, it's a very young player, but that's why he made our roster, because of his play without the puck, his intuitive, his feel for the game and positional and aware. I mean, literally when we show a clip of what to do systematically or adjustment, he's one of the top guys that gets it and can go out and execute it. Just a positioning shift, or read this play, this team or their top line is doing this, here's our adjustment. He's probably the best on our team at being able to adjust immediately. Take what it was told in the locker room or showed in the locker room and apply it immediately on the ice. The game is no stress for him. He's got a lot of hockey sense, and he appreciates his play without the puck. He actually, you play without the puck, everybody talks about defense, but the better you are with that, the more offense you have, the more time on offense, and you're not chasing the game. And he's very, very intelligent when it comes to that.
Do you think it's almost a shock, though, that an 18-year-old doesn't have a goal for a month? You're able to say that because he's so mature defensively. Normally, an 18-year-old without a goal for a month goes back to junior.
Yeah, no, it is a, I don't know if shock is the right word, but it is. He's an amazing player in that regard. He has value to your team. It's going to be when he starts scoring and gets in a scoring rhythm. We've got a pretty special player there. In the interim, I can tell you, I have complete confidence putting him on the ice in any situation. He's smart. He makes other players better. Tyler Myers the other night, you watch him get underneath him and take a puck away from a guy that's probably a foot taller than him, and then make a play or 2 right after that. I mean, he's just a smart, gritty hockey player. So yeah, I guess you could say it's shocking. I think you said shocking. It is. You don't know what a young guy is going to be able to do when he comes into the league. Like, he came in training camp. There's not been a day that I haven't been impressed with him.